Well over a week ago, final votes in the presidential election were cast. However, Donald Trump's 72 million voters are holding on to their belief that the election was fundamentally unfair. From the mail-in ballot mayhem to the premature media calls, Democrats have changed the way we vote and interpret our elections. They basically cheated us out of our constitutional rights. What became obvious is that our system, meant to protect freedom and safeguard fairness and exert the will of the people, is fundamentally broken. Because who called the election? The mainstream media. And there is one news organization that is bearing the brunt of their decision to circumvent our checks and balances and to avoid truth in favor of compliance. And no, we're not talking about CNN and their parakeet cohorts. Not at all. Fox News has taken the road traveled by most mainstream media sources. A disappointment? That's an understatement. Fox News has made a detrimental choice to conform to suspected truth instead of waiting for the actual truth. So, why did Fox News descend into conformity? Once upon a time, Fox News was the holy grail of right-wing news media. Recently, however, that has drastically changed. The nail in the coffin for this former news giant? President Trump's endorsement of their major competitor. On Twitter, he tweeted, "Moving to Newsmax." Newsmax? Why? According to Trump, though, Fox has been completely unfair and untruthful in reporting the election results. Let's take a look at what went down. Fox News was first among the media organizations to call Arizona for Biden. And in light of the mounting concerns and ongoing investigations and the litigious action, it is safe to say that Fox jumped the gun on this one. Rupert Murdoch should have pulled out his calculator because this was not a calculated decision. Have they been clueless of their viewership? Are they unaware of the mainstream media they once competed with? Why would they try to become the one thing people were running from? I mean, unfair reporting, biased reporting, and selective headlines have haunted much of the America's mainstream media sources. And for much of that, in the Trump era, Fox News has been a definitive source of conservative news media. But this bastion of conservatism has transformed into a spineless media mill that has alienated the people that provided them with a steady growth and revenue. Not good for business, is it? Absolutely not. And if anyone knows how to bury or build a business, it is President Trump. His Twitter digs have exasperated Fox's fall into an unfavorability and propelled Newsmax TV into a newfound celebrity. So, let's take a closer look at the new news favorite within the Oval Office. Newsmax TV is owned by American journalist Christopher Ruddy and was established in 2014. While some people have falsely claimed that President Trump helped create Newsmax, that is the furthest from the truth. The company existed well before the presidency was ever even into consideration. In October of this year, Newsmax averaged about 65,000 people during the election. That number tripled to over 182,000, and now, well, on November the 10th, Newsmax averaged at 450,000 viewers. Before long, the channel will reach well over 500,000, and its growth is unstoppable now that Trump has emphatically stated his support. Newsmax is also outperforming Fox in another faucet: distribution. Their TV programming is supported by TV streaming services and it has a presence on Chromecast, Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV, among others. Fox News, on the other hand, has blatantly ignored trends that they're getting away from cable news and going to streaming platforms. Get on board, Fox. Fox is actually the only major cable network news service lacking any affiliation with the major multi-billion-dollar streaming services. CBS has Paramount, ABC News has Hulu, and MSNBC has Peacock. What does Fox have? They clearly did not appreciate Trump's support, which by association led his gigantic fan base to the channel. Now, that Fox has fallen from its presidential graces, it doesn't have much going for it, and no plans of changes within the organization have been announced. I guess Fox is just failing. Newsmax stands out for another reason. Their website has a banner stating that the election has not yet been called. Other media companies just claim that Donald Trump won. Chris Ruddy, the founder, has appeared on talk shows explaining their position and by default has caused everyone who wants a fair election to head over to view their own coverage. We have a right to know who won the election, and we also have a right to know with unshakable certainty that's a hard case with careless media acceptance of the Biden victory. Like, I don't understand that. But With the news reports that dead voters in key states including Pennsylvania and Nevada, as well as more and more discoveries of ineligible ballots, the American people deserve the truth. And at that moment, no other media source echoes this sentiment as strongly as Newsmax. The channel has seen a rapid and exponential growth from this very reason, while mainstream media has been quick to jump on the Newsmax as a pro-Trump propaganda machine. Classification doesn't stand. Newsmax is just interested in reporting facts and established truths. The election results, as well as we know, are not quite factual. Newsmax's responsible and veracious approach to calling the election is actually exactly what journalism should be doing. Instead of sowing discord with the mainstream media, they have successfully accomplished that. We should wait and see. Considering Fox News' unwillingness to wait and see, viewers have jumped ship to Ruddy's channel. And that is a beautiful example of America at its best. Private enterprise and market demands dictate the flow of our economy, and the public has made it clear. We demand a fair election, and no major news corporation besides Newsmax seems to be interested in upholding the interests of we the people. The Murdoch empire will either have to rebrand or will eventually fold to rapid declines in viewership. Have they realized the errors of their ways? Only time will tell. But you don't have to wait for the fallen Fox empire to get their act together. Tune into Newsmax for your daily dose of national news that does not blur fact from fiction and upholds the importance of verifying our election results.